Today on Breeze TV, the First Amendment has been a hot topic on campus this week, but the controversy leaves the community with one question: what's next?
Then, could a government shutdown be on the horizon? Breeze TV Politics talks about potential effects in the Valley.
Plus, the Bourne legacy is coming to an end. Watch as he reflects on his 25 years at JMU.
And the families of Dukes from across the nation are filling up Harrisonburg. But how does the class of 2024 feel about their last family weekend?
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And I'm Zoe Mowry.
The JMU Student Government Association passed an amendment to their election process. Part of the amendment requires any candidate running for SGA office to share all campaign content to their election commission. One senator says this is a violation of the First Amendment and a policy that could promote censorship. Noel James has the story.
It's not that it's personal. This is about the First Amendment. This is about our Constitution. If James Madison were alive today, I'm pretty sure he'd see that and that clause and understand that that is a blatant violation of what he fought for so hard.
But JMU's student body president doesn't see it that way.
I couldn't give you a practical example of how that does limit free speech. Does it restrict content? It's up to interpretation. Like I said, I couldn't do that. It would never come close to a manner that would really violate someone from talking about issues that they truly care about on campus that affect the student body in a vast way.
Meanwhile, JMU's class of 2026 president says the amendment's point is to ensure the election cycle stays above board and professional.
It's really just a precaution for the candidates and for SGA as a whole to make sure that we're not spreading misinformation, that we're checking over things, that we are keeping a professional reputation.
Commissioner Riley Gilbert sees it in yet a different light. In a written statement to The Breeze, she says, quote, "The purpose in this section in the elections policy was to check grammatical errors, copyright issues, accessibility issues, accurate dates and times, and inappropriate endorsements." Boggs says the policy isn't clear on those points, and while striking down misinformation is a noble cause, it is also a violation of the First Amendment.
You can combat misinformation by combating it after it comes out. Misinformation, whether we disagree with it or not, is still protected under the First Amendment, right? And it's that core belief, too, is that misinformation, while it is very important and it absolutely should be addressed, that still has the right to be posted. And then it can be reviewed by the commission and say, you know, they can go into detail after. But it shouldn't be done before the process.
In the famous New York Times versus Sullivan case in 1964, the U.S. Supreme Court held that false statements and hyperbole are protected and, quote, inevitable in free debate. After the sole dissenting vote against the amendment, what's the next step?
The fight continues. It does. And because I'm not going to let this next election have that happen. I'm going to ensure that I fight within SGA to make sure that our First Amendment right for all Dukes are protected across the board.
And on that, both sides can agree. SGA Elections Commissioner Riley Gilbert said in a statement to The Breeze, "This was never meant to become a matter of students' rights to voice their opinions on campus." Gilbert went on to say, "This policy will be amended in the future to reflect our proper intentions with the matters listed above." Reporting for Breeze TV, I am Noel James.
Print News editor Eleanor Shaw is in studio with Noel James to take a closer look at SGA's new election policy. Noel.
Thanks, Zoe, and thank you, Eleanor, for joining us today. Let's talk about why this amendment is so contentious.
So where the contention surrounding this amendment really seems to be stemming from is the amendment's wording. To quote the document directly, it says, "All campaign content posted on social media or otherwise must be approved by the commission before posting." And the term campaign content is very ambiguous. Does this mean social media content only when it pertains to the elections, or all social media content? What will they be looking for? What will they be looking at, whether they're voicing their political affiliation or not? And that's where Riley Gilbert's statement comes into play, where they said the intention of this amendment was really just meant for grammatical errors, copyright issues, and making sure to correct misinformation. And However, that lack of ambiguity, ambiguity that exists within that policy and that statement is where it's really getting a little bit messy.
Can we say in confidence that the SGA senators understand the meanings of these policies that they're trying to enforce?
I don't want to put any thoughts or words into any of the senators' mouths because, again, those are their own thoughts and feelings. But just looking at like what's been going on, it looks like they're looking at taking action, that they understand what the student body and what the members of the JMU community are looking for. And like in Riley Gilbert's statement, they're looking at amending the policy in the future to really reflect their proper, or to quote, the proper intentions.
We are yet to see what these intentions are. Thank you so much, Eleanor, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Noel.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the main desk.
Thanks, Noel. Now, 2 weeks ago, residents of Old Town, neighborhood home to many JMU faculty and staff, found disturbing leaflets with hateful rhetoric. The leaflets were dispersed by the Loyal White Knights, a subgroup of the KKK. And since Monday, multiple leaflets with hateful speech toward LGBTQ+ individuals have been found inside the Forbes Center and Music Building. These instances are not related, but the community members say that the combination of these events are alarming, and Vice President of Student Affairs Tim Miller expressed that legalities prevent any action JMU can take.
I want to help students feel welcome and comfortable in the space, but also discomfort is sadly part of our experience. Individuals can say these things legally in our country and on our campus. So it's not a lack of support, it's the reality of what it's like to live in a free society like James Madison University and America and Virginia. We have to exist in a place where people will say things that we agree with and people say things that we don't. And we've got to figure out how do we live within that space, because it allows us to do things we love, but it also makes us have to experience things that we don't.
If you have any information about these instances, you can reach out to the Harrisonburg Police at 540-434-4436 and the JMU Police at 540-568-6912. This is a developing story.
One organization goes above and beyond to support those with pediatric cancer. In honor of Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month, Abby Allard shows us how the Dukes Against Childhood Cancer Association is making a difference.
The Dukes Against Childhood Cancer Association is making it known that not only is it important to talk about pediatric cancer in the month of September, but all year. The association was founded by Leanna Headley, Caroline Lawhorn, and Hannah Moon in 2020 to focus on fundraising for medical and travel costs.
Children are our next generation, and in order to have that next generation, we need to get the funding and we need to educate everyone and as many people as possible about the issue of childhood cancer and why it's not being funded enough.
The organization has grown since 2020 and now has over 20 members to help spread information on the effects of childhood cancer, as well as provide support to families.
Started off small, but our exec, they just joined last year. And so they've been a huge help just getting things going, getting fundraisers started. We did a lot of fundraisers last year. They've already done one this year. Yeah, just spreading awareness through it.
Founder of the organization, Caroline Lawhorn, recently relapsed with leukemia. She left the organization with the perseverance to continue making a difference in people's lives.
Our founder had pediatric cancer and she's currently on her 5th battle of leukemia, so it means a lot to us to carry on the club that she founded with her friends as well as recognize her for her battle.
The Dukes Against Childhood Cancer Association will be catching a football to support Caroline at this weekend's game. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Abby Allard.
Next,
some breaking national news. The longest woman serving on the Senate has died.
Then, where candidates stand after the second Republican debate.
Plus, we look at the biggest stories that made national headlines this week.
This and more on Breeze TV Politics. You don't want to miss it.
It's bow time.
Dude, we need gas.
Yo, we gotta get those Supremes.
We're not gonna make it.
It's bow time, baby.
So worth it, right?
I'm glad y'all ran out of gas. Boldly seasoned chicken Supremes with a biscuit, fixin', and drink. It's bow time.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
It's bow time. It takes 49 steps to bake a fluffy made-from-scratch Bojangles biscuit. But to make it a country ham biscuit, it takes 50. Get a fresh buttermilk biscuit today with a slice of juicy country-style ham. It's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true. But it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
Good afternoon, JMU. I'm Regina Aranazari, and this is Breeze TV Politics. We have some breaking news this afternoon. California Senator Dianne Feinstein has died at the age of 90. Feinstein was the oldest member of the Senate and also the longest-serving female senator after serving over 3 decades in the chamber. Earlier this year, Feinstein announced her plan to retire at the end of her term in 2024. She faced calls for her resignation over concerns about her health that led to her absence during crucial tie-breaking votes. Senator Feinstein's legacy will be remembered by her major legislative achievements on issues such as gun control and climate change. Failed to pass a short-term funding bill ahead of tomorrow's government shutdown deadline. The far-right members of the GOP have threatened to oust House Speaker Kevin McCarthy if he does not concede to higher spending cuts. A government shutdown would furlough as many as 4 million Americans. As far as here in the Valley, many worry how a shutdown will affect Shenandoah National Park as peak season
My first year in the Senate, 2013, there was a shutdown in October, and all the communities around the Shenandoah National Park, the hotels and the restaurants and the outdoor outfitters, it's their best month of the year. If you do a shutdown during October, you really hurt a lot of these small businesses, and it's not like people want to come back in December when the leaves are all brown. It affects everybody, somebody trying to get a tax refund, somebody who's overseas and lost their passport. Can I get a passport to get home? No, they can't. Veteran waiting for a veteran's benefit. And then you add all the employees, and we have more federal employees if you add in the defense and everything than virtually anyone.
A shutdown could prevent the park from providing services such as bathrooms, visitor centers, and emergency responders. The 35-day shutdown in 2018 cost Shenandoah National Park $79 million in maintenance backlog. The National Park Service is expected to lose as much as $1 million a day if a shutdown occurs.
It contributes $104 million, at least in 2022 it did, to the local community, and it supports over 1,200 jobs, not in the National Park Service, just in the local communities. Last year, it provided over $145 million in economic value to communities. So it's a real economic driver for the regions and communities in the area, some which are very rural and don't have a ton of industry per se, and people rely on these. These are small businesses in your communities that rely on the tourism.
Government shutdown could have crucial implications in Virginia, as it is home to more than 144,000 federal employees and the world's largest naval base. The Commonwealth also faces a high-stakes election for legislative control, and a shutdown could sway the electorate. 7 Republican candidates faced off at the second presidential debate of the 2024 election, with GOP frontrunner former President Donald Trump absent once again. In a contentious and chaotic debate, candidates frequently talked over one another while the moderators struggled to maintain control. Around 9.5 million people tuned into the debate, but it is a 26% decline from the previous one.
The thing that most stood out to me was the talking over one another, the aggressiveness, assertiveness maybe of the candidates. Not much different than the first debate in terms of the substance of the debate. I thought Tim Scott got a little more airtime. He spoke more, but there was a lot of back and forth between Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley, Ramaswamy and Tim Scott. And I think they trained their fire on him because he had done well coming out of the first debate.
Donald Trump pulls over 40 points ahead of runner-up Ron DeSantis. Although a third of viewers believe DeSantis had the best performance of the night, there are still no signs that the dynamic of the race has shifted. For this week's segment of People in Politics, we are highlighting Democrat Kathy Beery. Beery is running for a 2nd District Virginia senator and is a former teacher and newcomer to politics. She describes how her experience in education and living in a children's home has influenced her philosophies.
When you know more, you do better. And I really do. I mean, I've not always been as, tolerant or as open about other things as I am now. But it's like when you stop and talk to people and when you listen to them and their lives, everybody's doing the best they can. And you have to give grace.
As an activist, Beery prioritizes the best interest of Virginians by focusing on issues such as education, women's rights, and health care. She emphasizes how local leaders need to be on the front line of these issues.
The inability of workers to have a say, that they can be fired at will, that wages are so stagnant. These are big things that are basically out of balance. And the other thing is that a woman, you stay out of the state stays out of people's bedrooms and out of their doctor's offices. This is not appropriate. There are HIPAA rules for a reason, because everybody has the right to privacy on their medical records and their medical decisions about their health.
Beery's candidacy has been endorsed by organizations such as the Network for Public Education Action and the National Women's Political Caucus. She is committed to upholding the values of these coalitions and her constituents. Breeze TV contributor Jacob Perez is in studio with the latest in former President Trump's civil fraud case and more.
Thanks, Regine. Former President Donald Trump's New York fraud trial is set to start Monday after an appeals panel denied Trump's motion to postpone the trial. This comes just days after a judge ruled the former president that he committed years of fraudulent business deals and stripped him of some companies as punishment. Former Trump attorney Michael Cohen has said, quote, "The damages, in my estimation, with interest and penalty, will exceed $600 million. The case is unrelated to the 4 criminal indictments Trump faces." House Republicans failed to yield any new information at the first hearing of their impeachment inquiry into President Biden. The GOP is accusing Biden of profiting from his son's business dealings during his tenure as vice president. However, Republican expert witnesses testified that there's not enough evidence of impeachable offenses. A new NBC poll shows that the majority of voters oppose the impeachment inquiry into Biden, and that number could go up as an impending government shutdown could affect millions of Americans. And lastly, the Biden administration plans to keep a cap on refugees admitted into the country at 125,000 for the next fiscal year. Beginning on Sunday, the U.S. also intends to resettle up to 50,000 refugees from Latin America and the Caribbean. Biden's plan seeks to admit more refugees from the Western Hemisphere to divert migrants from the border, where traffic has spiked to record levels. That's all from me here. Back to you all at the main desk.
Thanks, Jacob. Kicking it off at the sports desk.
Football is back at Bridgeforth. Will the family weekend crowd help the Dukes keep their undefeated record?
Then, volleyball swept last night, but what does it mean for their game later today?
Plus, confidence is the men's soccer team's main goal, and their defense will get them there. Learn just how the team used their week off to build themselves up.
Don't leave after the half, there's more to come.
It's bow time.
Dude, we need gas.
Yo, we gotta get those Supremes.
We're not gonna make it.
It's bow time, baby.
So worth it, right?
I'm glad y'all ran out of gas.
Boldly seasoned chicken Supremes with a biscuit, fixin', and drink. It's bow time.
The one. The only. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
It's bow time. It takes 49 steps to bake a fluffy made-from-scratch Bojangles biscuit. But to make it a country ham biscuit, it takes 50. Get a fresh buttermilk biscuit today with a slice of juicy country-style ham. It's bow time.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Sports Desk, your source for all things JMU sports. This is Colby Reese. Director of Athletics Jeff Bourne and President Jonathan Alger came together earlier this week to discuss Bourne's recently announced retirement. Here's a look at what took place.
A bittersweet moment, as you all know, here at James Madison University on this occasion. Jeff has had just a remarkable tenure here at JMU, 25 years. Really an amazing, amazing run.
JMU held a press conference on Wednesday following the announcement of Director of Athletics Jeff Bourne's retirement on September 15th. President Jonathan Alger noted the many accomplishments Bourne achieved in the classroom as much as on the field.
Jeff understands and supports the student part of student athlete, and as a result, our student athletes are well prepared for careers and for life after they graduate.
A lot of questions surround the opening of the Director of Athletics position at JMU. However, the university feels they have a solid plan to find a replacement that continues the athletic success Bourne leaves behind.
Jeff has given us the luxury of time to conduct a thoughtful, thorough, inclusive, and open national search, and to do it in the best possible way. Of course, Jeff is leaving big shoes to fill, but he's also set us up for future success. It's important that we take the time to find the right person to build on Jeff's tremendous accomplishments, and I'm confident that we will do so.
Bourne will continue in the role until the end of the athletic year and is certain this is the right time for him and the university to step down.
I'm excited about our athletics. I'm excited about the bright future that we have, and I'm looking forward to watching that from a distance.
It's an exciting time to be a Duke. So on behalf of the entire university, I want to congratulate Jeff on his wonderful career at JMU and his upcoming retirement.
JMU football finally returns home to Bridgeforth Stadium tomorrow to take on South Alabama, ending a 3-game road stretch for the Dukes. The team is coming off a wild 45-38 win over Utah State. JMU led the game 24-0 early in the second quarter before the Aggies came all the way back, tying the game at 38 in the fourth quarter. Reggie Brown would find the end zone from 74 yards out, and the Dukes defense would hold on through interceptions by Aiden Fisher and D'Angelo Pons to secure the victory. The win improves JMU's record to 4-0 on the season. Head coach Kirk Zanetti, who went viral over the weekend for trying to use a phone to argue a call by the refs, praised his group for being able to overcome their time away from home with 3 wins, but assessed a key area the team must improve upon moving forward.
We need to play better in the third quarter. Like last year and the year before, we were really good at the end of the half and really good in the third quarter. And we have really not been good at all in the third quarter last 3 games, especially on offense.
JMU will face off against South Alabama in front of a sold-out crowd. The Jaguars are 2-2 this season and will open conference play in Harrisonburg. With it being family weekend and much anticipation around the team, the Dukes are excited to return to home turf.
You know, being on the road 3 weeks in a row, I'm sure, you know, Coach was speaking on how difficult that can be and all the challenges that comes with. But, you know, finally getting home to a sold-out crowd, you know, we're all excited to play in Bridgeforth in front of this crowd. Big game, you know, the hype and all the vibes is, you know, looking good right now.
The Dukes Sun Belt home opener will kick off at noon on ESPNU. Sam Reinert is live from the Convocation Center to recap volleyball's big win last night and preview tonight's match. Sam, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Colby. I'm here at the Convocation Center where last night the Dukes were able to sweep the Texas State Bobcats all the way and essentially have a rematch of what was their 2022 Sun Belt Championship and their team's home Sun Belt opener. Previously going up against App State, winning both matches, and fifth-year middle blocker Sophie Davis creating a new school record in total blocks. This was their second in-conference play of the season. In last night's match, the team recorded 45 kills, an aspect which head coach Lauren Steinbrecher feels carried the team to the sweep.
I thought we served exceptionally well. I thought we put pressure on them the whole match, and we were very low error. And I thought our error management was good. I didn't think we made a lot of errors attacking. I just wish we had a few more opportunities to go hard. So trying to create a few more kill ball opportunities, but I thought we did a good job not making reckless decisions.
Compared to their average of 27 errors a game at App State, the team only amassed 18 errors during their gameplay and look to continue that during tonight's match. Coach Steinbrecher told me that she thought the team did well in the first two sets, but want to focus on their consistency through their offensive execution. Now, a quick response against Texas State's libero is what will help them prevent close scores in the third set. Later this evening, JMU will be here playing at 6 against Texas State, trying to close that out and have a sweep through the whole doubleheader. Back to you, Colby.
Great stuff over there at the Convo Center, Sam. JMU men's soccer was once ranked 8th in the country in the United Coaches poll. Now, with 3 straight losses, 2 to Sunbelt opponents, the team is looking to rebound as they continue to navigate through conference play. Reporter Tommy Gerganis takes a look at the team's mindset to overcome recent challenges.
With no games this week, the Dukes received a greater chance to rest and recover. It's also been an opportunity for them to make corrections on the defensive side, where the team wants to be focused and purposeful.
We were definitely working on resetting and kind of coming as a collective group and compacting that middle. I think it was a good way for us to kind of get back on track and move forward.
While the break is welcome, the team is placing an emphasis on having a sharp focus on the field, something they believe will help bring positive results in a difficult conference.
You know, Sun Belt competition, it's one of the best conferences in the country for a reason. So I think it's just about each time out resetting after, watching video.
Confidence hasn't been an issue though. The group feels that they are on the right track.
We think that we've been playing well. We just need to stay a bit more focused in games. So some of it is just keep doing what we're doing, making minor tweaks, and then really focusing on closing out games.
JMU will have a chance to get back in the win column when the Dukes match up with South Carolina at home on Saturday with a 7 p.m. kickoff.
It's an excellent opportunity against a good team, Sun Belt opponent, to go out and get 3 points, so we're excited about that opportunity.
I think a win would be huge. I think that, we know we're a good side. We just think that we've been underperforming the last few games. So we think this win will help us get back to winning ways and get back in the win column where we think we deserve to be.
Reporting for Breeze TV, this is Tommy Gerganis.
Before we wrap up sports, I just want to give a huge birthday shout out to sports contributor Piper Hepler. We hope you have a great day and can't wait to see all you do here at Breeze TV. That's all from the world of sports. Zoe and Maggie, back to you.
We're almost at the end. Here's what's coming up.
How one professor went from dancing across the nation to dancing through Forbes.
Then a Pulitzer Prize winner gives advice on job searching post-graduation.
And our reporters give their roses to ABC's newest but oldest hit show.
Stay tuned.
Bow time.
Dude, we need gas.
Yo, we gotta get those Supremes.
We're not gonna make it.
It's bow time, baby.
So worth it, right?
I'm glad y'all ran out of gas.
Boldly seasoned chicken supremes with a biscuit, fixin', and drink. It's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true. But it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
It's bow time. It takes 49 steps to bake a fluffy made-from-scratch Bojangles biscuit. But to make it a country ham biscuit, it takes 50. Get a fresh buttermilk biscuit today with a slice of juicy country-style ham. It's bow time.
The one. The only. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun Spice Chicken Breast Filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time.
This is Breeze TV.
It's that time of year again, Dukes. Family Weekend starts today. It's a time for students to reconnect with their loved ones at their home, away from home. But seniors didn't get to experience their first family weekend when they arrived as freshmen during COVID. Find out how these seniors feel about missing this tradition.
JMU's annual Family Weekend is one of many traditions students get to experience in their first year, except for the class of 2024. They missed out on their first Family Weekend due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Senior Landon Martino said the weekend has evolved since his first year at JMU in 2020.
It's a complete switch. It's day and night from what it was COVID 2020. I feel like it's something that most of the seniors really relate to now, because nobody else was here when that happened. It's school year now.
Not only is Family Weekend a chance to see relatives, it's also an opportunity to get to know the JMU community as a family. But seniors like Noah Nas didn't have this option freshman year.
It sucked. I mean, because you just want to be here and be around everyone, and not being able to have that chance, especially coming into school. James Madison isn't the biggest football school yet, but you want to be a part of the games and you want to be a part of the Duke family. So not having that opportunity kind of sucked in the beginning.
Since missing his first one, Martino says Family Weekend has become a tradition he cherishes.
Usually my parents and my whole extended family comes up, and we all get together, get a house in Massanutten, and have a really big tailgate. And it's been some of the best weekends I've had at JMU so far.
For their last Family Weekend, seniors can enjoy the sold-out football game and other family activities. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And for more what to do on this family weekend and a free coloring page, check out the Breeze's Family Weekend Edition on Stands Now.
If you're looking for something to send home with your parents this family weekend, the annual Fall Plant and Bulb Sale is now at the Edith J. Carrier Arboretum until Thursday, October 5th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The sale has a variety of plants as well as art from local artists.
The Fall Plant and Bulb Sale here at Edith J. Carrier Arboretum supports the operational cost of the Arboretum to ensure that we have funds for future events. So you're going to have bulbs inside the Francis Plecker Education Center, as well as trees, shrubs, ferns, and native plants in addition to house plants.
You can order plants online or go to the sale in person to check out their display in the Francis Plecker Education Center, where you can take home a piece of nature.
And you may have seen a new face around the Forbes Center. From Dancing with the Stars to Dancing with Dukes, Miguel Perez has already begun to make his mark at JMU. The Breeze's managing editor, Avery Goodstein, spotlights the visiting dance professor.
Perez started his dance career when he was 18 years old. He's arrived at JMU with performances alongside Celine Dion and Taylor Swift under his belt.
I was just always passionate about dance. And without knowing, I would lock the room in my bedroom and I would learn all the music videos. And I was teaching myself, so I guess I was always moving. And someone saw something in me.
Perez was on tour with Dion for 4.5 years. His first show with her was in front of 60,000 people. He says the energy of the crowd fueled his performance and was an amazing experience.
I got to travel the world, someone paid for it, and I got to do what I loved.
In 2014, Perez danced in Taylor Swift's performance of Shake It Off at the Video Music Awards. His students say he brings his experience in the field to the classroom.
Miguel just brings such a vibrant new flavor to MT Dance. He's like, I came here to be your director, your choreographer, your teacher. He's really invested, not just in my career now, but in my career in the future.
Perez has a full schedule outside of JMU. He recently co-founded a contemporary dance company in Richmond called Conflux Dance Theater with Angelica Burgos. Together, they've created an inclusive space for dancers of all levels and backgrounds.
The best thing is to have a partner, to have someone that you can lean on and you can trust, and that you know that they have your back, and we both are pushing each other for the same common goal.
Perez says he wouldn't be where he is today without the support of his college professors.
Because they saw something in me and then they pushed me, it definitely set me on my path. And kind of that's what I want to do with my students.
Sashaying away for Breeze TV alongside Michael Russo, I'm Avery Goodstein.
Great turn down, look. Okay.
George Anders, LinkedIn Senior Editor-at-Large, visited JMU last week to discuss his book, You Can Do Anything, which emphasizes the importance of a liberal arts education. Our reporter, Madeline Gallagher, sat down with the Pulitzer Prize-winning author to learn more.
I know it's something my generation struggles with all the anxiety, considering what we've developed through COVID and everything like that. So people my age may not have ever had an in-person interview or may have never applied to a job in person, and their jobs or internships may have been online or hybrid. So how do you suggest people my age make these career connections?
The person sitting across from you was 19 years old at some point in their life too, and they were a student just trying to figure out their pathway and sort of take that intimidation factor out of the equation. Think of this as a peer who just happens to be a little farther down the road of life than you, the student, are.
And as student journalist, Anders gave us some advice to find our perfect job match.
Go for areas that are not yet built out. And this is something I talk about a lot, is that you can try and go after jobs that people have been doing for 20 or 30 years, and then there's only a little bit of room for newcomers to come in. Or you can look for fields where there just isn't very much of a presence yet, but it's growing. And I've been fortunate in my career usually to get to the growth areas, and then opportunities open faster. You don't have to be the best out of 1,000 people, you just have to be the first.
The first episode of The Golden Bachelor premiered on ABC last night. Just like the regular Bachelor, the reality show follows a man looking for love, except this time he's in his golden years. Reporters Abby Allard and Alexa Bonilla grabbed the popcorn and watched the show in a new episode of After Credits.
I'm Alexa Bonilla.
And I'm Abby Allard.
And welcome to the Golden Bachelor After Credits.
Uh-oh, I'm scared. I'm nervous.
I can't wait to watch these women riz him up. What are you gonna say?
Oh, you look lavish. He looks like the guy from Star Wars.
I hope he finds love.
I'm getting emotional already. Stop! That's so cute.
Oh. Did she just
flash him?
I think she just flashed him.
Wow, these ladies are frisky.
Am I feeling it? No.
No.
But he's feeling it. How do you think you would feel if that was your dad or grandfather, being the Golden Bachelor?
No.
We have to pause.
We need to
talk about this. Make sure to check out @JMU Breeze TV for our full reactions.
Well, it's our final family weekend, Maggie. I'm so excited to spend some time with you this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited to spend time with my family. We'll see you guys next time. Same place, same time.